Hey there, Mama. Why does the word self-care feel so loaded or crazy for us Christian moms? The world says treat yourself, but deep down you might be wondering, is this selfish? Am I ignoring my family? Today we are deleting the guilt with a biblical reality check. So let's talk about a new way to think about self-care. I know it's hard to think about self-care, especially when our dishes are piling high in the other room and laundry is waiting to be folded, or when you've already been in the car all afternoon driving teenagers around, you're tired, or you've got a little one having very big feelings about something that made perfect sense 5 minutes ago. You might wonder, is self-care selfish when there's still so much to do? Or you might ask yourself, is self-care really self-indulgent? Well, instead of taking care of ourselves, we think, shouldn't I pray more or serve more or just push through? Well, even though we're already exhausted, we need to take some time for self-care. If you've ever felt that pull inside, I just want you to know you're definitely not alone. And you're not disappointing God because you're tired. Today, let's talk about a new way to think about self-care and what it looks like. We need to talk about how we think about it, because thinking always comes before doing, or at least it should. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that's where we start in our thinking. Biblical self-care is not about indulgence. It's about stewardship and about caring for ourselves the way God intended. God didn't give your mom calling without caring about the woman he called you to be. He didn't design your body wonderfully and fearfully made and then expect you to ignore its limits. And he never asked you to continually pour yourself out without ever being filled. Real life doesn't pause, so we have to. I'm curious, when was the last time you actually paused without feeling guilty? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. I know there are meals to make, attitudes to navigate, and sometimes a 3-year-old who's having a full-blown meltdown. But Jesus himself stepped away from the crowds and withdrew to quiet places. He rested, he prayed. Scripture tells us he often did this, not because he was weak, of course, but because he was walking in obedience to the Father. Jesus is always our ultimate example. Somewhere along the way, many Christian moms started believing that the more they do equaled faithfulness. But Scripture doesn't say that. There's a difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction gently draws us back to God. Condemnation piles on guilt, and the enemy whispers that we're not doing enough, that we're not good enough. Guilt is not the voice of the Lord. A new way to think about self-care is this. Caring for yourself isn't taking something away from your family or from God. It's caring for God, for what God has entrusted you. Your body, your mind, your heart, they matter to Him. So Mama, if you're running on empty, it's awfully hard to care well for everyone else. This biblical self-care series is about learning to walk with God in a more grace-filled and peace-filled way. Not doing more, not trying harder, but living from the truth of God's grace instead of the pressure of the world. Now that we've fixed, or we're trying to fix, how we think about self-care, we need to talk about how to do it without spending money or leaving the house. In the next video, I'm sharing 3 5-minute habits that count as intentional biblical self-care that you can do even with your kids around. You don't want to miss the practical list. So be sure to subscribe, and remember, God sees you. He cares about you, and rest isn't rebellion. It's an act of trust and faith and obedience. God bless you, Mama friend.